Well, if only I could convince my wife of that as well. Thank you very much for the introduction. I am Ed Bellis, the CEO and co-founder of HoneyApps. And what we do is we are a vulnerability management as a service. And what that means to us is, there we go. So prior to founding HoneyApps, I was the chief security officer at Orbitz and ran into this problem head on. And it became so frustrating with my 6 years at Orbitz that I decided, after not finding what I needed on the market, that I was going to go out and build this myself. And this is what we've essentially come up with. But at Orbitz, we had a multitude of business units. We were growing by mergers and acquisitions. We had matrix reporting because of a lot of that M&A activity. And it created a whole lot of silos of data, probably not unusual for a lot of medium, large-sized companies. Add on top of that we had a centralized information security team that was responsible for hundreds, probably thousands of applications, thousands and tens of thousands of servers, thousands of network devices, all kinds of very large databases, including large transactional databases, as you can imagine, that followed all of these data centers around the world and were responsible for all of the infrastructure and security around our call centers that were a follow-the-sun methodology as well. So we've got all this data, or excuse me, all of this infrastructure and applications that we're responsible for securing, and now we've got best-of-breed tools that we've essentially went out to the market to choose in order to find these security vulnerabilities. So whether that be application security scanners, network security scanners, we're looking at static analysis tools in our source code, database security vulnerability scanners and configuration scanners. Add on top of that, we had professional services teams doing pen tests and security assessments. And then we had to take all of that data, make some sort of sense out of it, and then get it into the people who were actually responsible for fixing a lot of these problems, which was a different team than us. It was the ops teams, the dev teams, using bug trackers, change management, trouble ticketing, and so on. So we ended up with this problem right here. What we definitely did not want to do, if you want to lose any kind of respect in your organization as a security professional, is dumping a VA scan that you just ran against one of your websites onto the development team's desk and say, here, fix this. It would never get done. They'll glance on things and file it in the garbage. There was a lot of data. So a lot of companies that we saw earlier today and probably even later on are dedicated to solving big data problems. We're dedicated to solving messy data problems. Whether that be from all of this various scan data that's coming in, it's all described differently, it's all scored differently. If you've got overlap, you have no idea that you're tracking the same vulnerability 5 or 6 different times. It makes it very difficult to find and fix. So I'm going to credit one of the UTR folks for our phrase here, which is don't look in 50 places, look in one. I was describing this problem to her, and this is exactly what she saw, and it fit perfectly, quite honestly. We've got all of these data sources, and they're a mess, and they're all over the place. And we give you a single pane of glass view into all of your security vulnerability data, regardless of source. So we start to tie in all of these together, right? We're bringing in all of the scanners, all of the static analysis tools, the database scanners. If you've got pen testing services that are running and they're dumping PDF or Word doc reports on your desk. And then we tie in all of your remediation management systems with bug tracking, change management, trouble ticketing, and so on. We sync it all up with the National Vulnerability Database for correlation and using standards like CVE and CVSS to rank and score. And we give you one single command and control interface to all of your vulnerability data, again, regardless of source. So what does it take to get data in and out and get up and running? One of the things that we were very dedicated to doing was making this a very simple, clean process, easy to use. The problem that we're solving is a problem of complexity, and we want to go in the opposite direction. Want to get data into Conduit, which is our vulnerability management as a service? It's as simple as filling out a 3-form field. You submit this, we start pumping the data in and out. All of our connectors are 2-way, so we push and pull, and we automate a lot of the remediation workflow that goes on around your vulnerability management. On top of that, we've piled in a bunch of metrics, and we give you an infinite number of ways, essentially, to slice and dice this data through asset tagging and a whole lot of other technology. This kind of completes the whole picture here, but what we're doing is automating as many pieces as possible. All of the manual grunt work that goes into your vulnerability management program becomes automated, and we effectively shrink that window of exposure from the time you discover a security vulnerability to the time you fix a security vulnerability. And he's standing again. So our business, real quickly, we are a SaaS-based software as a service subscription model. We've got the 3 different subscription plans that are annual subscription plans. Again, we launched last month 1.0 with 50 different enterprises using us in the beta and trial, founded by myself and my co-founder, Jeff. And we have an advisory team that is made up of the founder of White Hat, the founder of Tripwire, as well as the CTO of Qualys. What are we looking for? Give us a spin. We want customers. We want lots of customers. We offer 30-day free trials. We are also looking for partners, whether that be from managed service providers and so on. And of course, you can follow us on the blog and Twitter. Thank you.